Hey, welcome to Mark's Garage Channel. Just a retired engineer who loves old trucks and trying to figure it all out by watching YouTube and working along. This is Missy the Wonder Dog, and I hope you like and subscribe. Okay, down in the basement with my carburetor. I planned on just cleaning it, but then when I took it apart, which I've already put back, I haven't taken it completely apart, but I'm going to take apart a couple things. I'm going to show you, and then get into why I'm taking it apart. So the first thing I did is drop the throttle body. I learned this from watching, I think, Mike's Carburetors on YouTube. So this is the throttle body. And of course, this linkage is supposed to be connected to this Z. Forgot where it connects. Hope I can remember that when I go put it back together for final. But bottom line is, this gasket here was a mess, so I got to get a new gasket. That led me to Mike's Carburetors supply online, and I was about to place an order for a rebuild kit, which came with some gaskets and an accelerator pump. And I wrote, and they said when I went to checkout, they said, you know, confirm with us, or confirm it's the right kit before you buy it, because you don't want to just return it. So I sent them an email, and they got back to me within like 15 minutes. They said this particular carburetor, based on these numbers, which I were in the first video, based on these numbers, could use one of two different kits. So now I'm in the position of trying to open this up to look at which kit is the right one. She says, Gabrielle was the woman on the email. She says it either takes the 4042 kit, which is what I thought it was, or a different kit. But the difference is, based on these numbers, she says Zenith didn't change the numbers between kits, is the accelerator pump's different. So I've got to now drop the bowl here and take a look at which accelerator pump is in here, and then I could figure out which kit I need. One kit's $40, one kit's $70. So I'm hoping I have the $40 kit, because I'm just that type of person. Well, there's a lesson learned. When you get a phone call on your phone, your camera shuts off. So I will call my mom back as soon as I finish opening this bowl up, seeing what's going on here. So there's the 6. Whoa, that came out quick. Oh, good gasket. Keep that. Set that aside so I don't lose it. There's the float. This is the accelerator pump right there. And you can see that. Got a lot of corrosion on it. And the guy said to make note of that pin right there. The clip that's holding it is in the middle position. So when you go put it back together, you put it back in the middle position. The kit would come with this plunger, a new screen, and new screen. What did I say? A new spring and a plunger. So I think this is the 4042 kit, which is the less expensive one. Probably more common is my guess. That's why it's less expensive. So I'm going to go order that from California, and hopefully that's all I need. So I looked at the pictures the lady sent me from the website, and now that I got this apart, what they show in one picture is the accelerator pump, which is this thing here, and they will supply me in one picture this part and this part, and in the other picture you get a new one of these, a new spring. So I opted for the one with the new plunger, than spring. And then as I was watching that guy Mike put his back together, what he did is he dumped some fluid down in there. He put his new one in, like so. I don't know if you can see it, but he plunged it, and he showed that it was working by the liquid shooting out this hole down here at the bottom, which is not happening for mine. So either my plunger's no good, or the hole is clogged, or both. So I figure I just keep taking this apart. I got a can of carb cleaner here. Just soak it while I'm waiting for the parts to come in. Just keep it apart. And then I need that corrosion, because I'm going to end up reusing this thing. I'll just polish that up with the Dremel and put the new plunger in. But I would like to make sure that this hole isn't clogged right here. Wouldn't even know how to, don't get stuck in there. Unclog it. So we'll see what happens next. So parts are ordered. Wait, I don't know, probably about a week before that comes in. I'm thinking about all the parts I've ordered in the past 2 days, including all the rubber and interior trim for the cab, which I probably shouldn't have ordered yet because I'm not ready to go down that road. But while I'm waiting, I'm just going to clean this thing up best I can. When it goes back together, be nice and clean. That's the where the gasket was. It's just filthy. I think they might have put like Permatex on it or something. But as far as parts, I ordered 2 cylinders for the for the front brakes. I haven't opened up the back brakes yet. Probably should have done that today too, just to take a peek on what's going on in there. So there, I'm waiting for those. I think they're January 12th. I ordered this kit, probably another week for that. Along with the interior for the cab is the thermostatic spring for the manifold. So I can't put the manifold back together until I get that spring. Can't put the truck back together until I get the carburetor. Can't put the wheels back on until I get the till I get the brake cylinders. So I'm thinking about writing all that stuff down on the bulletin board I put up in the garage, tracking it all. And I thought, you know what? You can track all that on the computer. And then it occurred to me, that's what I used to do for a living. Is track resources, materials, people when I manage construction projects. And I retired for a reason, because I don't want to do that anymore. But suddenly I'm doing it again. But this is for my own satisfaction, so it's not like working. Yeah, so I was upstairs watching my friend Pete. Not really my friend, but that's his YouTube handle, and he has a channel. He's in, I think he's in Utah. He does body work, but he was carrying on about employees. He's a pretty angry guy. Every time I watch him, I go, I can't really stand watching angry people. I think that's why I'm kind of ranting. I just watched another guy rant, so I was like, oh, it's rant time. Apologies in advance for the ranting. I am enjoying this immensely. And I'm not saying that with any sarcasm. This is what I enjoy doing. I just wish I were a little better at it. But think I'm going to cut out for now. Just keep cleaning. Must be boring to you guys to watch me clean parts. Okay, it's Sunday morning. The parts came on Saturday for the carburetor. Very excited. Ready to give this a shot. Hope I get it right. Comes with a Q code, and that leads to printed out instruction sheets. I already watched Mike's video, so I'm about ready to get into this. Except for... Alright, so here's the kit. This was, I think $30 plus $10 shipping. I can't believe they charged $10 to ship this in a little envelope from the postal service, but whatever. I'm sure that shipping includes somebody going, getting it off a shelf, digging it out, making sure it's right. That's fine. There's all the gaskets. I think this covers a few different carburetors. I'm not going to use this many gaskets. I know that one with the slots is for the throttle body, which is, where does that go? Down here. So let me pop that off first. Oh yeah, and that's hooked with a linkage which goes to the accelerator pump, so you got to kind of pull that linkage off. Pull that linkage off right there. Oops. And separate these two things. Now they don't want to separate. Super. There it goes. Ta-da! So, oh. Yeah, this gasket goes here because there's an opening for vacuum. This goes in the top, and it only goes one way. It's got to line up with that there, so that lines up with that. Getting back to the throttle body, the gasket for that, which is, I see. Take this out, put that in. It has an extra hole. So it could be that gasket, or maybe I have a spare. I wonder which one it is, the fat one or the skinny one. I think it's the skinny one because that opening's not big enough. Yeah, there it goes. That fits there like that. I ended up doing this little plunger. Actually, I don't know what this is called. This is not the plunger. This is the plunger. But I polished this up. It had a lot of corrosion on it. Not a lot, but enough. And I polished it up with a little buffing wheel that I got on my drill here. This is like a Scotch-Brite material. And it moves up and down in this bore a lot easier. So now I'm going to put it together again and see how it goes. And the plunger goes. Get that plunger in without it kinking or folding over on itself. That's awful tight too. Barely moves actually. Hope I didn't swell that or anything with the I don't know how that exactly is supposed to work. Then spring goes on. Now I'm thinking out loud, if I ruin this carburetor, if I ruin that plunger by applying, yeah, I gotta be real careful here that I don't send that washer flying with the spring, launch it across the basement and never to be seen again. Or if I see it again, it'll be the day after I buy a new one. Oh yeah, what a difference, huh? See that? I don't know what that's all about, but seems to be working. Okay, on to the next step. Got the gasket on there. The jet's been taken out and cleaned out. This jet, one's an idle jet, one's I guess the regular jet. They've both been taken out and they're clean. You can see through them, so that's cool. Got new gaskets for these plugs. I hope this plug didn't leak, so I'm thinking of leaving the gasket in. This plug was somebody put in Teflon tape, probably because they didn't want to go out and buy a gasket for it, or they had to buy a whole kit to get a gasket. So I'm going to peel this Teflon tape off and see if I got one of these gaskets that fits this. And it looks like I don't. Yeah, it must be this one here. Yeah, no, that fits. So I'll clean that up a little bit better with this pick, just to get the last of the Teflon off and put it together. Alright, so accelerated pump is in, the linkage is connected. I don't know exactly how it's supposed to work, but I don't think it's supposed to stick like that. But maybe it'll loosen up as I use it more and more. But I polished it up. I guess the next step is to get this float on. I put the new float, float seat, and I put a new gasket on, whatever that thing is. I guess it just sits right here like that. It doesn't want to drop in. I'm not sure why. What's hanging up? Pick it up. I can see what my. Oh, it looks like the gasket. Maybe if I put the gasket on this side, it'll drop on. Like this. Get it past the float holder there. This. The gasket goes flying. That's not the way to do it. Let's just keep this upside down for now. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere you're not supposed to keep this upside down. Things will fall out. But for the sake of putting this together, let's try that. Oh yeah, there it goes. Now it's together. Get the holes lined up. Looking pretty good. Gasket looks good. Flip it back over this way. And start looking for the screws, which are all in this box. Start one here. And I'll get back to you as soon as I get them all in. Alright, last piece of the puzzle. I had to go back and look at the video, but this is the, I don't even know what it is. I want to say for the choke or the throttle, it's a holder for the cable. What do I do with the screwdriver? There it is. So I knew when I took it apart, it went with one of these 6 screws, but I couldn't remember where. So now I just got to pop the screw out, pop that back in, and now that I see it in place, it makes perfect sense. It's got an angle to go around the curve. It must be part of the throttle linkage somewhere, somehow. Tighten that down, and there it is. Oh, and this piece here, this is interesting. I polished it up. It says, too clean, turn counterclockwise. There's a little arrow. Like, who wouldn't know? Counterclockwise. I'll just tighten that up. That's a 3/4 inch wrench. And now the big test is when I put the carburetor back in, which I won't do until I get the manifold in. See if it actually works. I'd love to see this thing idle. And then I go get an exhaust system. Thanks for watching.